stanza wise of explanation, deeply explanation analysis of this poem. So the poem is divided into three irregular stanzas which move loosely between different times and places. The first stanza begins with a fanciful description of the origin of Kubla Khan's capital Zunadu. Xanadu, lines 1 to 2. It is described as being near the river Alf, which passes through caves before reaching a dark sea. This is lines 3 to 5. 10 miles of land were surrounded with fortified walls from line 6 to 7, encompassing lush gardens and forests, lines 8 to 11. The second stanza describes a mysterious canyon, lines 12 to 16. A geyser erupted from the canyon, lines 17 to 19, throwing rubble into the air, lines 20 to 23, and forming the source of the sacred river Alf, line 24. The river wandered through the woods, then reached the caves and dark sea described in the first stanza, lines 25 to 28. Kubla Khan presents for the eruption heard a prophecy of war, lines 29 to 30. An intended section presents an image of the pleasure dome reflected on the water, surrounded by the sound of the geyser above ground and the river underground, lines 31 to 34. A final unintended couplet describes the dome again, lines 35 to 36. The third stanza shifts to the first person perspective of the poem's speaker. He once saw a woman in a vision playing a dulcimer, lines 37 to 41. If he could revive her song with himself, he says he would revive the pleasure dome itself with music, line 42 to 47. Those who heard would also see themselves there and cry out a warning line, lines 48 to 49. Their warning concerns an alarming male figure, line 50. The stanza ends with instructions and warning to carry out a ritual because has consumed the food of paradise, lines 51 to 54. The poem is vastly different in style from other poems written by Coleridge. The first stanza of the poem describes Han's pleasure dome boiled alongside a sacred river fed by a powerful fountain. The second stanza of the poem is narrator's response to the power and effects of an Abyssinian maid's song, which enraptures him but leaves him unable to act on her inspiration unless he could hear her once again. Together, they form a comparison of creative power that doesn't work with nature and creative power that is harmonious with nature. The third and final stanza shifts to first-person perspective of the speaker, detailing his sighting of a woman playing a dulcimer, and if he could revive her song, he could fill the pleasure with music, and concludes by describing a hypothetical audience reaction to the song in the language of religious scarcity.